high in the branches of the oak tree lived a little squirrel named Squeaky. Squeaky was a very timid squirrel, always cautious and alert. He spent most of his days hiding in the safety of his nest, peeking out only when he felt it was absolutely safe. Squeaky was a very timid squirrel. He was afraid of loud noises, sudden movements, and even the rustling of leaves in the wind. He was afraid of loud noises, which made him jump and scurry back to his nest. The sound of thunder or the crack of a twig underfoot would send him into a frenzy. He was afraid of the dark, often imagining shadows as lurking predators. Nighttime was the scariest part of the day for Squeaky, and he would curl up tightly in his nest, hoping for the dawn to come quickly. And most of all, he was afraid of heights. Even though squirrels are known for their climbing skills, Squeaky preferred to stay close to the ground. The thought of being high up in the trees made his little heart race. One sunny morning, Squeaky was collecting nuts with his best friend Rosie. Rosie was everything Squeaky was not: brave, adventurous, and always eager to explore new heights. Rosie was a brave squirrel, always ready for an adventure. She loved to climb to the very top of the oak tree where the view was best. She would often encourage Squeaky to join her, but he always hesitated. She loved to climb to the very top of the oak tree where the view was best. From up there, she could see the entire forest, the winding river, and even the distant mountains. It was her favorite place to be, where the view was best. Rosie would often sit on the highest branch, feeling the breeze ruffle her fur and enjoying the sense of freedom that came with being so high up.
"Come on, Slowpoke! The best nuts are up here!" Rosie called out to Squeaky, her voice full of excitement and encouragement. "The best nuts are up here!" She knew that the tastiest and most plentiful nuts were always found higher up in the trees, where fewer animals dared to venture.
I think I'll stay down here. It's safer," Squeaky replied, his voice trembling slightly. He looked up at Rosie, admiring her bravery, but unable to overcome his own fears. The ground felt secure, and he wasn't ready to leave that comfort zone just yet.
That night a fierce storm raged through the forest. The wind howled through the trees, and the rain beat down on the forest floor. Squeaky huddled in his dray, his eyes squeezed shut. He had never heard the wind blow so loudly, or felt the tree sway so violently. When the storm finally passed, the forest was in a mess. Branches were scattered everywhere, and the stream that ran through the forest had overflowed its banks. Worst of all, the bridge that the animals used to cross the stream had been washed away. Squeaky scurried down the tree trunk to survey the damage. The sight of the broken bridge made his heart sink. How would they ever get across? Rosie bounded down beside him, her tail twitching.
"Don't worry, Squeaky. We'll find a way to fix it."
But how? The branches are all broken, and the stream is too wide to swim across.
"We'll figure something out, we always do."
That all the animals gathered by the broken bridge, chattering amongst themselves. Old Mr. Owl, the wisest creature in the forest, hooted for silence.
"We need to rebuild the bridge, and we need someone brave and nimble to carry a strong vine across the stream."
All eyes turned to Rosie. Rosie was the obvious choice. But then, to everyone's surprise, Mr. Owl looked at Squeaky.
"Squeaky, you may be small, but you are very good at climbing. Will you carry the vine across the stream?"
Squeaky froze.
Carry the vine across the raging stream? He felt dizzy just thinking about it.
He opened his mouth to refuse, but then he saw the worried faces of his friends.
He thought of Rosie's encouraging words, "We'll figure something out," and he realized that he couldn't let his fear stop him from helping his friends.
Taking a deep breath, Squeaky stepped forward. I'll do it," he squeaked.
He gripped the strong vine tightly and slowly began to make his way across the broken branches, the rushing water swirling beneath him. The other animals watched with bated breath as Squeaky, clutching the vine, carefully made his way across the broken remnants of the bridge. The bridge had been their lifeline, connecting two vital parts of the forest. Without it, many animals were stranded, unable to reach their homes or find food. Squeaky knew the importance of his mission, and despite his small size, he was determined to succeed. His small paws trembled, but he kept going, inch by inch. Each step felt like a monumental achievement, and the weight of the forest hopes rested on his tiny shoulders. The wind rustled through the leaves, adding to the tension in the air. Squeaky's heart pounded, but he focused on the task at hand.
Look at him go. He's actually doing it. The animals couldn't believe their eyes. Squeaky, the smallest among them, was showing incredible bravery. They whispered words of encouragement, hoping he could hear them over the distance. Every creature, big and small, was united in their support for Squeaky.
Oh, I can't watch, but I can't look away either. The tension was palpable. Some animals covered their eyes with their paws, peeking through the gaps, while others stood frozen, unable to move. The fate of the bridge and their community hung in the balance.
Finally, he reached the other side, his heart pounding with relief. He had done it! The vine was now securely in place, and the first step towards rebuilding the bridge was complete. Squeaky looked back at his friends, a triumphant smile on his face. He had faced his fear and succeeded. He had faced his fear and succeeded. The other animals erupted in cheers, their voices echoing through the forest. Squeaky's bravery had inspired them all, and they knew that together they could overcome any obstacle. With the vine securely in place, the animals quickly set to work rebuilding the bridge. They formed a line, passing branches and weaving twigs with precision and care. Each animal had a role to play, and they worked in perfect harmony, their movements synchronized like a well-rehearsed dance. They worked together, passing branches and weaving twigs until the bridge was strong and sturdy once more. The sense of accomplishment was palpable, and the animals felt a renewed sense of unity and purpose. The bridge was not just a structure, it was a symbol of their collective strength and determination.
We did it! The bridge is back, and it's even better than before. The animals celebrated their hard work, dancing and singing around the newly built bridge. It was a moment of pure joy and relief, knowing that their home was once again connected.
All thanks to you, Squeaky. You were so brave. The animals gathered around Squeaky, showering him with praise and admiration. He had shown them that even the smallest among them could make a big difference. The forest was once again whole, and it was all because of Squeaky's courage and determination.
As soon as the bridge was finished, Rosie rushed over to Squeaky, her eyes shining with pride.
You were amazing, Squeaky. I knew you could do it.
She exclaimed, throwing her paws around him. Squeaky felt a warmth spread through him, a feeling stronger than his fear.
I couldn't have done it without you. You gave me the courage to try,
he admitted, nuzzling Rosie's cheek. Mr. Owl hooted softly, his wise eyes twinkling.
Bravery isn't about not being afraid, Squeaky. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you are afraid.
Squeaky nodded slowly, absorbing the owl's words. He realized that Mr. Owl was right. He had been so focused on his fear that he hadn't even considered trying.
From that day forward, I was no longer known as the timid squirrel. I had discovered a hidden well of courage within myself, and I knew that I could face any challenge that came my way.
That evening, the animals held a feast to celebrate the rebuilding of the bridge. It was a momentous occasion, one that brought together creatures from every corner of the forest. The air was filled with the aroma of delicious food, and the sound of laughter echoed through the trees. The animals had worked tirelessly to rebuild the bridge, and now it was time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They sang and danced and told stories. The melodies of their songs intertwined with the rustling leaves, creating a symphony of joy. Each animal took turns sharing tales of bravery and adventure, recounting the challenges they had faced and overcome. The stories were filled with laughter and tears, reminding everyone of the strength and resilience that lay within them.
This is the best celebration we've ever had. The energy was infectious, and even the shyest of animals found themselves joining in the festivities. The forest had never felt more alive, and the bonds between the animals had never been stronger.
And we owe it all to Squeaky. The little squirrel had become a hero in the eyes of his friends. His courage and determination had inspired everyone, and they couldn't help but cheer for him. Squeaky had shown them that even the smallest among them could make a big difference.
And Squeaky, sitting beside his best friend Rosie, knew that he had learned a valuable lesson that day. He realized that true bravery wasn't about being fearless, it was about facing your fears head on and pushing through them. Rosie looked at Squeaky with pride, knowing that her friend had grown in ways they had never imagined. He had learned that bravery wasn't about being fearless, it was about being afraid and trying anyway. It was about taking that first step, even when the path ahead seemed uncertain. Squeaky's heart swelled with a newfound sense of confidence and purpose. And that, he realized, was the bravest thing of all. The courage to act despite fear was a lesson that would stay with him forever. It was a lesson that he hoped to share with others, to inspire them to find their own inner strength.
I never thought I could do it, but with friends like you, anything is possible. Squeaky's voice was filled with gratitude as he spoke to his friends. They had supported him every step of the way, and he knew that he couldn't have done it without them.
We're so proud of you, Squeaky. You showed us all what true courage looks like. The words of his friends warmed Squeaky's heart. He had not only rebuilt a bridge, but had also built a stronger community. The admiration and respect in their eyes were the greatest rewards he could have asked for.
And so, the forest animals celebrated not just the rebuilding of the bridge, but the newfound courage of their friend, Squeaky. The night was filled with joy and laughter, and as the stars twinkled above, the animals knew that they had witnessed something truly special. The celebration was a testament to the power of friendship, bravery, and the unbreakable spirit of the forest community.